Hey everyone, welcome back to Indian Cricket Channel, the YouTube channel for cricket lovers. So another episode on T20 World Cup squad, India's best 15, or maybe India's best 11. On balance, one would have to say so. Maybe not on form, but what it is, they say, it's about form and it's about class, right? So form can be temporary, but class is permanent. So somehow these selections seem to be that way when you talk about, a couple of players here and there. So we'll talk about, the good, bad, and the ugly, right, of this entire T20 World Cup selection, which has been done by the selectors, right? Coming back to, the squad which has been selected first, you can see on screen, this is the squad which has been selected by the selectors for the T20 World Cup 2024. You look at the top 15 names over here. We'll try to understand that which are the top 11 players which you think would be there in the lineup. And my gut feel says that the top five in the left hand side, it is Rohit Sharma over here. You have Yashasvi Jaiswal. You have Virat Kohli over here. Surya Kumar and Rishabh Pant, the wicket keeper. So these five would be permanent over there in the lineup, which we think so. And Sanju Samson, the reserve wicket keeper, I don't think so. He would be included in the initial part of the tournament, but somewhere he might have to or might play a part, in the later half. Hardik Pandya, the vice captain, would be there in the top 11, which I think at this point in time, Shivam Dube would surely feature in the top 11 to start off with when you start the T20 World Cup. And then you would have Ravindra Jadeja over here in the lineup. So what do we have? We have five, then we have 6, 7, 8. You had Kuldeep Yadav, who is the spinner in the lineup. And then we would have Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah in the lineup of 11. So that makes it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. By and large, this is the 11 which I see. This is the composition which I see would be playing in the tournament. There could be slight here and there changes. Maybe when they would play with three spinners, in that case you might see Arshdeep Singh not being a part of it, and you might see Akshar Patel coming in as an all-rounder over there. And that would be the case when they play. India plays the three spinners. By and large, apart from that, you would have the team which I initially said, which would have Arshdeep Singh and Jasprit Bumrah as the pacers over there. So this is the team which we think would be the ones which would be there in the top 11. You could surely put in the comment section what you would think is the top 11, or any player you think would not be a part of this particular lineup. So this was the Indian lineup which we were speaking of. Now we come to the good, bad, and the ugly, which I said, which I initially mentioned. The good thing is the selectors have stuck with experience. Even though questions were asked about Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli's place in T20 World Cup lineup, but then bottom line, India needs their experienced men to navigate through unfamiliar pitches in the league stage. Both Rohit has played approximately 315 T20 matches. Kohli has played it would be 500 or 500 plus. So that experience is required in this lineup, especially when you're playing in when unfamiliar pitches like the United States. India have their initial league matches in the United States, and that is where these would be drop-in pitches, and we are not yet aware of it. What kind of drop-in pitches would be there? The general news which is floating around is that the drop-in pitches would be coming in from Australia, and that is where we would require this kind of experience in those kind of pitches. So it's a good decision to stick with experience. The second good thing which the selectors have done is having good wicket keepers, right? So the selectors have rewarded Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson for their stellar performance in IPL 2024. Pant has scored somewhere approximately 398 runs in 11 matches at a strike rate of 158, if I'm not wrong. And that is he's come to his vintage self, what he was. And Pant also provides that that combination of left-hander and right-hander in the middle order. So something the selectors would have surely thought of, and we did miss the services of a left-hander in the last two World Cups. So this is some thought which we've gone over there. On the other hand, you have Sanju Samsung. He has uh, just not scored a load of runs. In fact, if I'm not wrong, it is 385 runs in approximately 9 matches, right, in this IPL 2024. And the important part, he's the captain of the table toppers in the IPL 2024, which is Rajasthan Royals. So I'm sure that is something which also would have tilted in his favor. So Samsung's ability, to be a floater in the middle order gives that flexibility, and which will work in the favor of the team. Not to forget his natural six hitting ability, which is also there. So overall, a well-deserved World Cup call-up finally for the wicket keepers. The third thing when we talk about the good which has happened is backing of Hardik Pandya. Yes, the MI captain has struggled in the batting and the bowling when it comes to IPL 2024, but then there is no doubting Hardik's class, especially in major tournaments. You require these kind of all rounders, and that is where he would have got that nod of being selected in the T20 World Cup squad. The last thing which has happened good, in the T20 World Cup selection is picking up Shivam Dube. India couldn't have missed a bona fide, spin destroyer in the middle order. Dube's six hitting ability is known to everyone. Against spin, he's crazy against spin. Coming to the fore in the CSK loss, and for CSK in this IPL 2024. So overall, a good pick, in the form of Shivam Dube. Dube is, among the leading six hitters in IPL 2024. He's hit somewhere approximately 28 to 9 sixes in this IPL, the current IPL, which is at a very good strike rate. So overall, a wonderful pick over there. So these are some things, which are good in the selection, which has happened, right? We come to the bad, right? When we speak about the good, bad, and the ugly, or the good, bad, and the shockers. So when you come up to the bad, points, one important thing which I did not, understand is, having four spinners in the squad. India's bowling attack looks a little off balance. What's the need of four spinners in the side? Will Rohit Sharma or maybe Rahul Dravid, be brave enough to play two wrist spinners is a question in itself. In the 11, with Kuldeep already ahead in the pecking order among all the three spinners. I'm not sure, but then Yuzvendra Chahal might not, have not many games to play. He might be warming up the benches in the World Cup as an entirety, I feel, and more often than not, I feel. But if India have the luxury, of playing three spinners, so they are likely, as I said initially, they are likely to opt for, Kuldeep being there. They are likely to opt for, obviously, Jadeja would obviously be there as an all-rounder, and they would be tempted to pick up Akshar Patel, basis his batting. So that is where I think, if they have the luxury of playing three spinners, you would have these three spinners where you have Kuldeep, you have Akshar Patel, and you have Jadeja also being part of it. So, Rohit loves that extra batting cushion, in any kind of a scenario. And Chahal might not, ideally get the nod basis only his bowling. So, wrist spinners are, what do you say? They're generally more favored in the white ball formats in the modern era. Example of wrist spinner all-rounders such as, you have Rashid Khan, you have Hasranga, you have Shadab Khan, right? They are amongst the most sought of after, cricketers in T20 leagues. All over the world, besides being a force of their, respective nations. And this is one department where India continue to play catch up, with other teams. That is what I feel. Now we come to spacers. Why only three pacers? India have taken the risk of opting for only three frontline pacers. Only Bumrah is the one who is on form, among all three of them. Given the situation of Hardik's bowling and Shivam Dube's lack of bowling opportunities for CSK, India might fall short, I feel, in the pace department in the T20 World Cup squad. Though you might say, you have Khalil Ahmed in the pipeline in the reserves. But then, still, I still feel that, India might be short, when it comes to the pace department. And the reason I say this is, obviously you have Avesh Khan also, who's there and part of this reserves. You might tell that also. But then somehow we need to understand is that when you have these reserves coming in, it would be a one-time replacement. You cannot have reserves coming in, going out, and then being replaced. So that is where I feel somewhere India going with three pacers. They would have rather gone with four pacers and three spinners would have been a better option. So that is how it is when it comes to the good, the bad. We come to the ugly part, right? The ugly part, which I said initially is, I'm sorry, which I'm mentioning now is Rinku Singh, the snub of Rinku Singh, which was not expected at all, right, in the cricketing circles. So that is one thing which has sent a shock waves around the cricketing circles, right? So we try and understand over here that how has this impacted basically. So this is one we circle over here, Rinku Singh. We'll come to other people also. So the biggest talking point is Rinku Singh, and it seems that people are still in a shock. Well, such instances you might say have happened before also in the case of Sanju Samson, right? But it is shocking since Rinku averages 89, if I'm not wrong, in his early stage career in T20, and having scored somewhere approximately 356 runs at a staggering strike rate of 176. Possibility of Rinku not being in that lineup, in the top 11 lineup, I would say, or Rinku Singh not being there is because of the much debated the impact player rule. If you look at this IPL 2024, Rinku Singh has got very limited opportunities when it comes to showcasing his talent in this current IPL, and that is where I think there's some possibility of this going against him, right? And the second reason which I feel is the packed middle order. That is one thought which has been given, that the middle order has been packed and where do we fit him actually. So that way I feel little injustice done to Rinku Singh. But then if you look at the overall combination, right, and overall looking at the top order and the middle order, I think it was very difficult to fit in Rinku Singh over here. But I'm sure that he would have his chances in the future also, right? The second shocker, the ugly thing which we would speak is KL Rahul, right? I don't know. I told you guys in the last video that this is not entirely a Rahul Dravid team, right? Let's understand this is not entirely a Rahul Dravid team. If at all this would have been a Rahul Dravid team, right? You would have surely found KL Rahul in that lineup, right? In the 19, at least in the selected 19. And if it would have been entirely a Rahul Dravid selected team, you would have surely not found Yuzvendra Chahal in the lineup over there, basis the past instances. If you look at the history of T20 in the last some years, Yuzvendra Chahal has not been featuring in any of the T20 for India. So somewhere I feel, Ajit Agarkar has had to play some role over there in the selection of this T20 World Cup squad, right? These two particular instances make me believe, though I might be completely wrong, right? But Ajit Agarkar has had something to play some role in this T20 World Cup selection, right? I guess, and the other thing which I feel is KL Rahul, has himself to be blamed, for this non-selection. And I'll tell you why. You'll ask me this, and I'll tell you why. KL Rahul was very well aware of the fact, that the top three slots are filled up. I mean, if in the world anybody did not know it, he would have been one person who would be knowing it. That the top three slots, you have contenders like Rohit Sharma, you have Yashasvi Jaiswal, you have Virat Kohli. There were talks of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli also opening the innings and all those things, right? So I'm not at all sure why did KL Rahul opt to play in the IPL 24 in the opener slot. I would have loved if he would have played in the middle order somewhere and put some good scores over there in the middle order to push his case for being selected in the T20 World Cup squad. So all in all, that's this thing which I understand with KL Rahul, which has happened over here. We come to the biggest shocker. I feel this is the biggest shocker, as high as a shocker as Rinku Singh. Maybe people are not speaking about this, and this shocker I seriously feel is on one person, which is Rituraj Gaikwad. So he is the third person who is in the ugly category over here, featuring. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, see, Rituraj Gaikwad should have been part of this team, right? And now I don't know where and how we would have fit him over there. I still believe that we have picked up, maybe we could have eliminated some in the reserve category and picked up Rituraj Gaikwad over there. And this I'm saying only because of the form he is in, right? And that is where initially I mentioned this team selection is not basis entirely on the form, but also on the class. And that is where it is, you see a difference, when it comes to selection policies in India and selection policies for, when teams like Australia select their team. So coming back to, Rituraj Gaikwad, right? I mean, so I feel, he should be a part of this 19, right? It would be a slight disappointment for him, right? And I would like to prove my point, by throwing some stats over here, right? If you look over here, we look at the stats for this is the stats for IPL, which is Rituraj Gaikwad pulling in somewhere approximately 447 runs in 9 innings. Look at the average over there. It is 63.86 an average, right? You have a strike rate of 150 approximately, which is a very, very good strike rate when it comes to T20, right? And if you look further down, we had this series between India and Australia that was somewhere in 2023, towards the end of the year, November, December. And you see the stats over here, which is he played 5 innings for India against Australia, and then he scored 223 runs. Again, a very healthy average of 55.75, and with a strike rate of somewhere approximately 159.29, close to somewhere 160. So that is one shocker again, which people have been less speaking of, but then it would be a huge, it would have come as a huge disappointment for the huge for Rituraj not featuring in the World Cup squad, right? And I understand very clearly why. But then, having mentioned that, he can take great lessons from Sanju Samson. We all know very well how Sanju Samson has not been part of the past World Cups, right? And there were a lot of hola bola over there on Sanju Samson not being part, but he's shown great determination, persistence, in the subsequent years to get selected in the IPL. In the India World Cup squad for 2024. And I guess Rituraj Gaikwad can take great lessons from this instance, right? And push himself further, because I seriously believe the kind of performances he's dishing out, it is not far that Rituraj Gaikwad would be a permanent member of the Indian team. So that is how I sum up this entire video by stating the good, bad, and the ugly of the T20 World Cup 2024 selection, which has happened, right? I thank you for watching, right? You can put your comments in the comments section. Please feel free to put all the kind of comments you can, right? Please subscribe, like, and press the bell icon, right, for the latest updates. I thank you again for watching this video. Please stay tuned for future videos and updates. Thank you very much.